So to spice things up with the FIFA 20 demo content, because there is only 5 minutes of Volta if that, and I'm not just going to keep giving you plain, no commentary, just full matches of Champions League group stages, so I'm going to be doing against Legendary AI, the worst team in this game, in the demo at least, which is Chelsea. They're the only 4.5 star team, everything else is 5 stars. And I'm going to be playing Liverpool, which are arguably the best team. Neymar's pretty overpowered, so maybe you'd say PSG, and then obviously Real Madrid will be up there. But what I'm doing with this team is immediately putting Kante as the middle of the three in the midfield, because he has to stay back and just try and hold off with the Liverpool press. And take Marcus Alonso out and stick Emerson in, because we don't need a liability there. But as you see here, I'm changing the difficulty up. I also brought on Pulisic to start instead of Pedro because he's got much more pace, and I got the feeling I was going to be defending quite heavily here and just trying to snatch what I could. And so if I can have Pulisic on the wing, just to absolutely try and run as fast as he can, see if he can outpace Robertson, and we'll try and hit him on the counter attack. We had the penalty loading screen, and I found out here, I believe, in the first one, that after you press B, it still keeps an eye on where you're aiming. So I absolutely panicked, tried to get it back into the top corner, failed. And my tip is that move a cursor as slowly as you can into the top corner and just tap it, because even if you don't hit it very hard, the keeper shouldn't get right into the top corner unless they've gone really early. And the less you hold on to it, the smaller your error is going to be if you don't time it perfectly. You have to press B when your player's going to hit the ball, and that's it. I'd normally start this game just by flicking it up into the air or something, but I was taking this very seriously. I was terrified of Liverpool just pressing us out of our minds. As you see, I get lucky with Jorginho tackling him, but I was pressing B so many times just to hustle him immediately on the ball that I just ended up shooting it. We win the header and immediately get past two of their midfielders because of Wijnaldum, and Pulisic smashes it over. But because of Wijnaldum and Henderson being just ahead of Fabinho, you'll see here that we get a bit of a chance, because the midfield can get passed by at Liverpool very quickly, and suddenly you've just got the 4 defenders with your couple midfielders as extra men to try and negate the fact that Van Dijk's insanely good. The final ball for Liverpool just wasn't there. It was good play. But what I want to talk about the FIFA 20 demo, I don't know if it was like this for FIFA 19 when they first added Champions League, but it seems like the commentary, I've completely had enough of the commentary after about 2 games. I don't need to be told every time. Should have handed them a goal there, because just trying to pass it out from the back is stupid. But again, I don't like this keeper angle. But from this, I couldn't smash it to hit Giroud because Van Dijk would absolutely kill him, so I have to pass it out, and that plays perfectly into it. But then we get Kovacic, who could well be through on goal if Matip wasn't faster and stronger and just better than Kovacic in this situation. But yeah, I hear every time I'm offside, I hear Lee Dixon say, "Oh, look along the line, look along the line," and I don't need to hear that every time. I assume because it's been such a new game mode that they haven't been able to record so many lines, as rather than just referring to the bank of them of so many previous FIFAs that they've had for just your regular game modes. But there are a lot of just statements that are very vague, where they'll just go, "Oh, and that team's done this very well, and this is what they need to do." They won't go, "Oh, and Liverpool have been pressing very well here," although they might, because that's very specific. And they just, you can just tell they haven't spent so much time, as Robertson completely kills me, and then Azpilicueta clears it off the line. But you see here, this is exactly how I thought it was going to go. Liverpool are pressing me out of my mind, and I'm just trying so hard. AI just stunts on you sometimes, like Salah with that little touch. Unnecessary, but also he's clearly better. And they've just missed their final ball across the box, otherwise we'd be a couple down already. You can see I'm already looking at Pulisic trying to see if he's fast enough, but Robertson isn't bad except for his heading ability, and Van Dijk takes out Pulisic in the penalty area and just hands us a penalty. I never expected this. This was the greatest thing that could have happened against Legendary AI, against the best they could be, and Van Dijk, they're arguably Liverpool's best player, is gonna go straight off the pitch. It's only been 27 minutes, and Chelsea have a serious chance now of getting something out of this game. They immediately have to take Firmino off, so I'll have a bit more time at the back on the ball and bring Joe Gomez on, who is decent, but he's not quite you know, Van Dijk. As you see here, I'm panicking because I had penalty practice before, and if you've ever seen Jorginho, it's a shame they don't have his animation for hopping towards the ball to hit it, but he always side foots it that side, every single time. And now Chelsea, out of nowhere, after being, should have been 2-0 down, are now 1-0 up, and it's gone absolutely perfectly. It was Pulisic down the wing, just as I said, just trying to snatch something out of it, and they got rumbled, and they got completely no composure.
It's with Fabinho. Mane. Looking confident with the ball at his feet. Now he must favour the cross.
That should have gone in. Mane absolutely murders the wingers. My fullbacks, no matter what team I'm playing as in this demo, never seem to pick up the wingers, and so the number of times that I'll have Mane just pelting it with massive touches, as Trent's offside there, and he'll just be able to be straight through past the right back, and I'll be terrified. But now, because Bobby Firmino's not there, Fabinho's had to push up to try and help press, because that's still how their game plan is, and suddenly we would have had space in the middle there if I'd managed to, you know, do a normal thing and take a touch. Again, the final ball, they do so well with Salah just terrorising aside and the quick passing, but they just don't seem to be able to get the good ball across. If you chip it to the back post, you're either, if you've got a massive striker up there, you might score, but otherwise the keeper will come out and he'll tip it over into like the right back position. But Fabinho turns, he just passes it in. They love doing smaller passes rather than just whipping it in, and I just was too terrified to press B and actually lunge in because I didn't want to lose my man in the box, and so they just pass it through. Fabinho's found for space and he's just side-footed it into the bottom corner. That is exactly what I was terrified of happening. They've just, even though they're at 10 men, which is kind of embarrassing, they've managed to get an extra man over. Kante's on the edge of the box, just not picking up his runner, and Fabinho slots it in past the keeper.
So a level contest, 1-1.
Yeah, a little ball roll from Kante to show that I was trying to, and then I remembered how seriously I was taking it, and I got scared just because Salah was right onto me.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes.
I didn't trust Giroud to shoot from the edge of the box, but I did trust Pulisic to run down the wing and just see if he can get any space. But that is half time. They're only 4-minute halves, which is a bit of a shame. But that is half time. It is 1-1. Oh yes, we get a very nice slow motion of Pulisic's amazing, very close shot requiring definitely a save. Yeah, it's 1-1. It's a very tight game. Could still go either way. As you saw, Liverpool just carved me open. But you cannot be underestimating Chelsea at this point. With they know they have the pace on the wing, and so just one little lapse in judgment, lapse in concentration, and Chelsea are back into this game. Which, I mean, they're still in it. It's 10 men. There is still a chance, but Wijnaldum had nowhere to go there. He was just walking forwards with no striker to pass it to. Again, we just are panicking, and I'm not clear on my lines, and Fabinho's the only last line before their defence, and we're just not managing to get past him. We are just giving the ball away far too easily, and by we, I mean literally just me on the controller. There's no one else that could be blamed for this. But Salah's moved into the middle, it seems, and then if you see at the bottom, that's Alexander-Arnold's pushed up onto the right wing, so they could be very vulnerable there in the end. But they have to have someone forwards, and they've moved Salah into the striker position, it seems, or if he'd just gone narrow for that one attack, we'll see. But you've got the option of I'll bring Tammy on for Giroud later, but if you're playing as Chelsea, you have to bring Barkley on for Kovacic, or vice versa, at some point in the second half. And so it happened now. Barkley's got a bit more pace, a bit more power, and so we might be able to see if he can put up more of a fight against Fabinho.
Cutting in, what can he do from this position?
That's the AI, and I'm terrified in the box. And then the moment he left the box, suddenly with Willian and Emerson absolutely charging at him, seeing what we can do. But they get a ball in that time, and Mane just can't head the ball apparently. Yeah, as soon as it goes into the box, I'm just standing next to them hoping they hand me the ball, because I'm just not confident enough to start lunging in at this point. I didn't play FIFA 19 at all. This is quite a big change for me. Barkley just gives the ball away on his first attempt, but Jorginho manages to bring it back. this year they were talking about defensive, how they're going to be able to retain the ball better after tackles, and I haven't seen that once in this game yet. Maybe it's just because the demo. I'm not going to assume that suddenly massive changes are going to happen though. So anything can happen. That's a very dangerous ball to Alexander-Arnold, who's all the way up basically on the byline, and so Willian has to take advantage of it. Just massive touches. Joe Gomez isn't willing to come all the way across. That's just Henderson trying his best to catch up as Willian's stamina goes down. But he sees Pulisic at the top with all of the pace, and he finishes on the counter-attack, which was exactly my game plan. Just got lucky. The fact that they had 10 men played perfectly into that. Trent had to push up to cover Salah, who'd replaced Firmino, because Joe Gomez had to come on to cover Van Dijk, who'd just been sent off. And it's just one counter-attack. Pulisic has the pace in Robertson, a perfect pass and a lovely finish that Alisson's not going to get anywhere near. And now, in the 69th minute, he's scored. Nice. And we just have to hold on till the end of the match. Giroud is not going to last till the end of this match. If you want someone to try and press, Olivier Giroud is not your man. If you want someone to finish in the 6-yard box or grab you a goal in the final, then he starts coming into contention. You see, I didn't put it on defensive, I didn't put it on ultra defensive. Park the Bus isn't in this, which is lovely. And Rudiger heads it, gives Wijnaldum a chance just out of nothing. But I'm not going to go onto defensive. I'm not going to be like that against legendary AI, because you've got to have some sort of respect. And Mane seems to have come into the middle, and he's turned me completely. But then I come back. I think that was Jorginho making the challenge, and suddenly it's Pulisic again. We're just desperate, trying to give as much time as possible. Gets it into Kante, who's not going to take a shot because he's not crazy. And that was Giroud trying to get it down to Willian, and he just couldn't. The defender got enough touch on it to send it back to the keeper. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Mane is never being marked from my fullback. Sappacosta's just leaving him, giving him so much space that one kick out, and suddenly, if there wasn't a lovely challenge from Azpilicueta at the end, they had a massive chance. But now's the time, with less than 10 minutes on the clock. Bring Tammy on as they bring Oxlade-Chamberlain on. But bring Tammy on so that we can at least have something. If we break away again, Tammy's got a lot more pace than Giroud, and he's still tall enough, so he should be able to hold it up a little bit for us and help other people join the attack if we do get another attack in this match.
And firing it into the area. Only failed to get it away properly.
And that's a massive chance, and then Trent decides not to immediately shoot and try and put it in, and we just completely luck out, and we're back on the counter-attack with Jorginho. I'm looking at Pulisic hard and didn't notice Tammy was just completely free at the bottom, but now we put it up to Pulisic and we put a ball across, and I decide to double tap B, which I think triggered the timed shooting, and so because I'd hit it twice and then I hadn't hit it again and done anything, he completely mishits the header, and that should have been 3-1. It is 90th minute now, but that should have been 3-1. That should have completely consolidated the win, and I completely messed up.
And just the 1 minute left in normal time here.
Now Willian just needs to get up, and he doesn't, and suddenly they're trying to break away, but there was Kante with a perfect tackle as Chelsea win against legendary AI Liverpool, and I really thought I was going to get destroyed here, and I just... game plan worked out, I guess. There's Lampard soaking it all in like it was him. He chose to put Pulisic on, I guess. He made the right decisions. But legendary AI, as long as you can just about soak up the pressure, make sure you have pace, and you can always hurt them. We got lucky with Van Dijk going out in the 29th minute, and then obviously they carved us open for their goal just on half time. But Pulisic in the breakaway, he gets just ahead of Robertson to tuck away after Willian runs the... That'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed me playing against legendary AI. Leave a like on it and leave a comment if you have anything that you want to see from FIFA when the full game comes out, because I'll do something on it then. I've got mates who we're going to do pro clubs with, and they have house rules in pro clubs now, so that'll be very interesting. And then I might be doing a co-op season thing. I'm not sure I'll be doing too much single player, but I'll be showing you definitely some Volta, because there is an online league on it as well as their Volta World, their single player sort of version, which I guess is supposed to take the place of the Journey. where you face against the opposition teams, and if you beat them, you get to take one of their players with you. But that is it for this video. Please subscribe, and then you'll see when the other videos come out, and it'll be great. Thank you for watching this one. It really does mean a lot, and hopefully I'll see you back for the next one.